Mr. Olojede, you have received journalism's highest honor, the Pulitzer Prize, for your coverage of the aftermath of the Rwandan genocide. What do you think? Why the humanity continues to fail in preventing genocide like this?
Because we actually are not as advanced as we like to think we are, because they did the Armenian genocide and denied it for decades. Then they did the Jewish Holocaust in Germany, did the Rwandan genocide. We keep saying never again, and then we do it again. This is a fundamental flaw of human beings. And civilization and the progress in civilization is the only hope we have to constrain ourselves. Left alone, we are worse than beasts. That's overwhelming evidence to prove that, right? But by having laws and system of laws and a system of social organization that guarantees human freedom and open societies, we can minimize our tendencies to behave in this beastly way. In fact, as Dostoevsky said, it's an insult to the beasts because we are very artistically cruel, and beasts are not like that.
The co-founder of the UWC Diligence School, Ruben was one of the loudest voices alarming about the threat of ethnic cleansing in Artsakh, Nagorno-Karabakh, and was trying to prevent that catastrophe that took place last year, just a year ago in Artsakh. How do you feel the fact that Ruben Vartanyan is now kept illegally in Baku?
It is an injustice, a grave injustice that should make the world angrier than it has shown so far. Ruben is a friend of mine, so I'll declare that. He's a decent human being who's always tried to look at society as being larger than his own interests. So he's involved in the public square, by which I mean in the civic issues of our day to make life better for the people in his community. This is the sort of person we should be celebrating, not locking up in Baku somewhere. It's an unjust detention of this fine human being, and the Azerbaijani government would do well to release him immediately. I will continue to advocate for this. It is unjust, it's unnecessary, and this is not the way human beings should act to one another. It is this accumulation of bad behavior and treating each other so poorly that ultimately snowballs into the sort of grave issues of mass violence and even genocide that you referenced earlier, because we do not take enough time to be kind to one another, to be tolerant to one another, and to act with more justice towards one another. This is the fruit of this is the poison fruit from this tree of injustice that we've nurtured over many generations.
Ruben Vartanyan and other Armenian prisoners are facing right now a trial on baseless false accusations. And what do you think? What steps should be done for their releasement?
So now the Azeris, the Azerbaijani government, is part of the global community, and they also respond to pressure from the global community. So if we have responsible governments speaking up in behalf of Ruben, then we will see more movement. So if the US government is speaking up, if the European Union is speaking up, if the African governments are speaking up, then all of this makes it in the best interest of the Azeris to let Ruben go. As I think it was the South African freedom fighter from a long time ago says, let my people go, right? Let Ruben go. Let him go home to his family. He's not hurting anyone. He's trying to invest in the flourishing of human beings and the protection of people who are facing threats. Those are the people we should be celebrating, not locking up in a prison cell.
UWC Dilijan has had hundreds of graduates for the past 10 years coming from all over the world, and eventually they become a network of future leaders who know Armenia, the history of Armenia, and the current challenges. How do you think having such a network of future leaders can help Armenia with resisting its current challenges?
Well, this is always it's like playing the long game. This is an investment in the future. As you grow this network of extraordinarily well-educated young people, they are naturally going to be at the top of the food chain in their own countries. They have formative memories of their lives as happening here in Dilijan, in Armenia. It can only be for the good, because by putting the alumni in touch with one another throughout the rest of their lives, they form what an old mentor of mine in California used to call the intergalactic army of the just. And so it could only be to a small country like Armenia's advantage to have these global advocates for its freedom and its flourishing.